it's certainly deja vu all over again in the NHL playoffs. Not only is the Western Conference Final an exact rematch of last year's between the Blackhawks and Kings, this is LA's third straight trip to the league's Final Four, and the fourth time in 6 years Chicago has been there.
We knew that the road was going to go through Chicago. We knew that you had to play these guys to get through.
It was almost like this was what we've been waiting for all year.
They're the defending Stanley Cup champions. Probably the favorite of the remaining 4 teams to win again.
It's a very, very skilled team that has won, team that has all the experience, but so do we.
You got Doughty, they got Keith, they got Taves, you got Kopitar, they got Kane, we got Gabrick. You go right down the line, 1 through 20. Every part of our team's very similar. You knew you were probably headed for another 7-game series.
They had what we wanted, so I mean, I guess it really doesn't get much bigger than that.
And from the United Center, the Los Angeles Kings meet the Chicago Blackhawks.
One of the most electric buildings in the National Hockey League, and maybe of all sports. They are about 22,000 strong in the United Center there, and those fans are big supporters of that hockey club.
And the building is loud, and it's intimidating right from the national anthem at the start when everybody is screaming and hollering and on their feet.
It's game 1 of the Western Conference Final. This best-of-7 series features the past 2 Stanley Cup champions.
He's ready for the shot. He scores! 3-on-1. The way penalty coming up. Score! Jonathan Payne!
In Chicago, quickly off to a 1-0 series lead with a 3-1 win.
And in the second game, Chicago scores the first 2 goals. So it doesn't look good for the Kings. The Kings score the next 6 goals.
Williams, and a score! Doughty, a shot, score! Muzzin with a shot, score!
In the third period, Jeff Carter gets a hat trick.
Jeff Carter finishes the 2-on-1 break. Carter empty net shot, and he scores!
I think that's where the whole momentum changed as the Kings rallied to win that game.
From downtown Los Angeles and Staples Center, it's game 3 of the Western Conference Final. Muzzin shoots, scores!
They go out and win games 3 and 4 at Staples and take what would appear to be a commanding 3-1 lead against the defending Stanley Cup champions.
So the Kings have won both home games here in the Western Conference Final. Now won 3 straight. They can wrap it up Wednesday night in Chicago.
They're looking so similar to the team that won the Stanley Cup 2 years ago. LA looks very, very good right now.
You always get a team's best, especially championship teams, when they either have to win or go home, and we knew Chicago wasn't going away easy.
They're down 3-1. We're trying to squash them, and they're going to try and get some life.
There's a reason why they were Stanley Cup champs. They have a lot of character and a great leadership group over there as well.
And we're not going to stop working. We're not going to stop trying. It's as simple as that.
We're a confident group here. I mean, we're not out of the series yet. It's 3-1. They got to win another game, and you know, it's not going to be easy.
From the United Center in Chicago, it's game 5 of the Western Conference Final.
Fire saved by Quick, and another stop. Brown with a shot block, comes in front, and then it's knocked in.
When I thought we had them on the ropes in game 5, and they find a way to get the overtime goal, and that's what playoff hockey is about, was big goals at big times.
Shot across the Hunters, he scores!
How often does it happen that an ex-King comes back and beats you in a playoff game? Michael Hansus scores the winning goal, and now Chicago knows they're right back in the series.
But then the series comes back to Los Angeles for game number 6. Kings have a lead in the third period, and as it turns out, Chicago is able to tie it.
Duncan Keith has tied the game in 3.
Again, Patrick Kane comes through with a huge goal.
Patrick Kane has given the Blackhawks the lead.
Nets the game winner to force game 7. As that series unfolded, everybody felt that this is really the Stanley Cup final. I mean, these are the 2 best teams.
So now, for the 3rd consecutive series, the Kings are facing a game 7 on the road in another very, very tough building in which to win.
It looks like the Kings are just going to have to win another game 7 on the road.
Game 7, we've had 2 chances to close out this series, and we're not going to blow the 3rd one.
We're definitely not making it easy on ourselves, but we have a great group with a lot of character in here, and I'm confident.
doesn't get much better than a Game 7 as a player. I mean, that's a game that you want to play in.
If you look at their record, I think they had lost maybe 1 or 2 home playoff games in the last 2-3 years.
It's Game 7 of the Western Conference Final between the Los Angeles Kings and Chicago Blackhawks. Now Kane feeds it, side of the net, score! Side!
I took a penalty, and Taves scored to make it 2-0.
Seaver for the shot in front, Taves scores!
And the Blackhawks get the first 2 goals of the game, once again, about 3.5 minutes apart, and it doesn't look good for the Kings.
And I was sitting in the box saying, no, this can't be it. This can't end this way.
Back on the Kings, and on left wing, Brown, a shot, save, rebound, score! With a shot, save, rebound, score! Justin Williams!
We had the momentum, we snatched it right back pretty quick, and then they come back 10 seconds later and score a goal.
And now the Blackhawks come right back and take a 3-2 lead.
There's a lot of situations in that Game 7 where, you know, you could just turn and say, this is great, we had a great run, but it's just not meant for us. There wasn't any of that.
We are tied at 3. Feet to his left, the drive by Short. He scores!
Save, rebound, score!
Marian Gaborik bangs in a rebound, and now Game 7 is going to overtime.
We start overtime here in Game 7 in Chicago.
Going to overtime, it was some of the best hockey I've ever seen.
What you saw was 2 of the top teams in the league playing full out, you know, nobody holding back.
There were a lot of chances. There were a lot of chances for both teams.
You wonder after the first 2 series that we have if we still had enough, if we had one more little bit of magic left in this miracle season, in this miracle playoff run.
It started in our own end. Greener made a great breakout pass to Justin Williams there. And
here's Justin Williams.
I was able to make a play and get it inside.
Williams moves it into the corner.
I dumped it in. Stoley had a great forecheck.
You know, I just saw Justin Williams went behind the net.
Then he moved it up to Marty, and I'm just thinking, well, Marty's got the hot hand. This is going to go in.
And when we had a chance to go low to high in the offensive zone, my only thought was this one needs to get through to the net.
I remember thinking when Williams made the pass that Martinez will have a shot. I don't know how effective a shot it will be, but he's got some time. He's got some space.
And Marty started to the middle, and then he cut back to his left to try and create a shooting lane because the forward was trying to get in the lane to block the shot.
Justin was able to give it to me at the point, and I just tried to change the angle and get it on net.
Martinez is always ready to shoot. I love that about him. He doesn't hesitate, and he pulls the trigger.
Stoll in on Kruger with a bump. Williams in for the puck, feeds it out to Martinez. Martinez with a shot. Tip, score! Kings win the game! The Kings are going to the Stanley Cup Final! Remarkable! Incredible! Unbelievable!
I was in front of the net when Marty shot that puck, and just to see the mesh move behind me was one of the better feelings I've had.
Well, I didn't really know it went in right away. And then all of a sudden, Stoll in front just started going crazy. And so I kind of had that split second where I didn't really know if it had happened or not.
And then all we see is like the team, like the 5 guys on the edge, they're jumping. What a feeling it was.
Just watching him and the emotion of his teammates jumping over the boards, that was just a great, great moment.
The Kings are leaping around the ice, celebrating their 3rd consecutive Game 7 win on the road. That's never been done before in NHL history.
Any kid that's picked up a hockey stick in his driveway has played out that scenario in his mind and has scored that goal. And you know, it's definitely something that I'm going to remember a long time.
There's no words that kind of can describe it because it was such an emotional series, an emotional goal, emotional moment.
After Alex scored that goal, we knew we were 4 wins away from where we wanted to be.
And that was one of the biggest goals probably in LA Kings history.